Okay, hi, good evening. It's Kimberly and we are back in the workshop this evening, and hopefully everyone had a great Christmas and a blessed New Year. We are getting back started rolling with our workshops again, and we are welcoming you back into these workshops. So if you just stopped scrolling and you've just discovered me here, my name is Kimberly. I'm with Unique Finds and Furniture Designs. I work with the Dixie Belle paint products. They're the products that I feature in all of our tutorials and live videos. You may have seen us earlier today. We were on site painting a fireplace, a brick fireplace, and bringing that up to upscale and change the looks of that. And so we are moving on with that project. Actually, the pieces that I have here are the mantle for that very fireplace that we were working on this morning. And so you can catch that over on our Facebook page, and I apologize that the video is flipped. Don't ask me why. I'm not tech savvy enough to figure out how to flip it the right way, but if you guys know how and can tell me, I'm all ears and I will fix that for you. So I apologize that you're kind of looking sideways on the video. I apologize for that, but I think you can kind of get the gist of it. Unfortunately, that happened on a very important video that most people are wanting to learn how to upscale and change the look of their fireplaces from the old red looking fireplace into the new, more modern look. So we did do a farmhouse theme on that. So we did go with a more modern farmhouse look. So this is the mantelpiece to the fireplace. And so it's it has some ornate detail to it. Hey Kayla, hope you're good. So you can see all the way down here, and I'm just going to kind of rotate you there so you can see. So it's got this beautiful detailing in it and some scroll work all the way down, as well as in this piece. You can see it's just beautiful. So what I'm going to do with this tonight, we are going to clean it. We're deciding whether we're going to restain it to a little bit lighter than this so that it'll work better with the fireplace that we just finished. The screen on that fireplace was black. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take our White Lightning cleaner. I've mixed it in our water bottle here, and I am going to clean this with our Scotch-Brite and our White Lightning cleaner, in hopes that we will bring some of the dark off of here, because I believe some of the dark that we're seeing could be from some of the heat and the soot and things like that from the fireplace. So hopefully we'll be able to clean this down to a much lighter toned wood. We are trying to keep away from painting this per the client. So if it's possible we don't have to do that, we're going to try and just redo the luster of this wood. And so once I get it cleaned down and we hope that we're getting the look we want, if we want a lighter tone, we'll jump in and use some of our water-based, maybe the Tobacco Road water-based stains that we have through Dixie Belle, and give this a little bit luster there and give it a little bit of a pop from that fireplace y'all saw this morning to this beautiful mantelpiece that's going on it. So this mantelpiece goes flat against the brick, and then we have two of these on one on each side, as well as the top piece of the mantle, which I have over here that we'll be working on. So tonight we're going to showcase how we can use our Scotch-Brite and our White Lightning cleaner to kind of bring a different luster to this piece. Now you can use your White Lightning cleaner to clean your carpet, for little stains on your carpets. I've found I use my White Lightning cleaner for a lot of other things besides this. So hey Miss Debbie, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Christmas, and now hopefully we're off to a bright new year and we can move forward with things. I'm gonna step off of the camera enough to get me a cloth to work with as we're doing this. So let me grab that real quick. So we are just now sort of getting back into the work area here. And so I've got my White Lightning cleaner. I do mix my White Lightning cleaner up a little stronger than most people, and I have it in this Bona bottle. I have found that I really like the spray handle on this, and it works really nice. It kind of gives it a nice mist. So I'm just coming down this woodwork because I love the woodwork on here, and I'm going to kind of see if our White Lightning cleaner won't give us the color we want, because, and I'm using a Scotch-Brite, but I will be careful, and I can already see, I kind of figured that it would bring some of that down, but I wanted to kind of do it on live so you guys can see the natural color that's going to come off of the soot and everything that happens to be on this piece. And I'm already loving it because I'm already seeing that I am not going to have to stain this, because you can see from this dark to here, and it's going to bring it the color we really wanted it to be. So in this case, I'm going to revarnish this. You can do that with the polyacrylic. You can do that with the gator hide, and get it. I'm going to just kind of clean it in here. So this is a new Scotch-Brite. It's one of the green ones. You see it says right on the side. Maybe you can see it says Scotch-Brite on it. And this is how I clean all of my pieces. I always clean with a Scotch-Brite. And then what it does is it also kind of lightly sands it as well. So you're kind of wet sanding it, if you will. So I just want to welcome everybody back to the workshop. Thank you for jumping on with us. If you are here with us, thank you for sharing and adding us to. And I'm just going to pull you down here because I'm going to show you what's rolling off. It's kind of rolling off of there. And it's, you know, that's par because of the age of this piece. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to try to get the look we want without having to do anything to the piece. Now, mind you, this piece is going to have some battle scars. It's a mantle. It's been through a lot. And we're okay with that. And I'm sure my client's okay with that. She may even be on here tonight watching with us. And if she's not, she'll probably catch it. So we are okay. And I'm just kind of working my Scotch-Brite along with my White Lightning cleaner down into the grooves of that. This is why we say clean your piece really, really well, because look at the difference. And I always use the White Lightning cleaner, obviously, and this is why, because you can actually see the difference a good cleaner makes prior to you painting. So, and you can tell that you're getting this off. And here's my rag, obviously, it's nice and clean. Now we're going to show more of the piece and see the different color change here is what we were going for without having to do anything to this beautiful piece of wood. And look at the detail, how it's popping off of here now. And you can see that's what you'd be getting off of your piece if you wanted to paint. Say this was a vintage vanity and we were cleaning it to get ready to paint. This is why I always say how important it is to clean your piece, because this is what rolls off. Of course, this is a mantle, so we probably have some soot and different things. And you can see that it's not as clean here on the side, or not rolling off as well, but I can work on that. But look at the overall difference from here to here. So you can definitely see the difference here. And I'm going to let my client look. And she has some battle scars on her. Well, I'm not going to try to get them off because that's where character remains. And I want the character to remain. This is probably, it may even be a 125-year-old mantle piece. Oh, I have vanity on my mind. Somebody somewhere has got a vanity wanting me to get it done for them. So you can see how beautiful the wood is under here. And that's just under the dirt and grime and fireplace ash and, you know, all that burn off and stuff. So like I say, I use my White Lightning cleaner a tad stronger. I'll mix it a little bit. A teaspoon is plenty, but I always add just a little extra because sometimes I get some grimy stuff that I really need to get the dirt and stuff off. Mostly though, you don't see, I want to kind of, only time I go on the circular motion is on the circular area. But for the most part, go with the grain of the wood because you're also sanding, basically would be sanding with the grain of the wood. So you want to follow the grain of the wood too, because you are sort of wet sanding as you're cleaning this, believe it or not. So I am wanting to keep with the same direction of the wood, and I'm catching that extra lip right here. So in these circular modes, you would want to do a little circular area to kind of work inside or those little sections on this particular piece. So in each one of these little grooves, just kind of work your little Scotch-Brite in there. And we'll show you how this one's gonna look, and then we'll jump over there and see. And I'll hold up before I do anything else major to it as far as priming or as far as painting it with my varnish. So you could do a polyacrylic over the top of this, and you can see the two different tones of wood. You can see what's coming off obviously on my rag here. And when it dries, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. And you can see up here along the edges, you might want to get a little bit more of your White Lightning cleaner. Put a little more elbow grease into the edge, along the edge. Just kind of clean it up. You can keep going and get it a little bit lighter even as you go. But I want to just kind of come on and show you guys what a difference that Dixie Belle White Lightning cleaner makes to this piece. When you've got from, I don't know if you guys can kind of see how dark, how light this is turned out compared to how dark this one is. And it's the same mantle, and I'm going to go over there and I'm going to jump on that piece. So this is just kind of a one cleaning. It's not overly done. Set you over here for a moment. So you could do it multiple times. I'm going to drag this one in. This is solid, well-built, beautiful mantle piece here. So don't be afraid to jump in. I'm going to soak it. Soak it pretty good. It's cool out tonight. So I'm just kind of add my White Lightning cleaner. So it's sitting a little bit. It's giving it a little time to do its thing. And I'm just going to jump in here and see if this one will clean as to the same as that. It might not be the exact same, but we'll see how far we can get. And once you've gotten it like this and you let it dry overnight, and I always say dry overnight, so it'll be good and dry. You could come in with a stain and put your stain on there. That's pretty much all you'd have to do if you want to put additional stain. And then you can put your top coat, your polyacrylic or your polyurethane. Just depends on what you want to use. You can come in there and add it over the top of your stain once your stain cures and dries. And in the climate that we're in, since we're in North Carolina and it's cool here, so it's kind of cold, it may take a little bit longer cure time on your products, unless you're indoors, which I am not, as you guys can see. And let me see if I can get the luster on this wood to kind of come a little bit brighter. And like I say, just keep going at it. While I'm using, the difference between using your Scotch-Brite versus a piece of sandpaper is with sandpaper, you're going to go into the grain of the wood and you're going to knock the surface of your wood off. With your Scotch-Brite, you're not doing that. You're hitting the outside layer and you're cleaning all the dirt off. You're not necessarily grinding down into, like with a piece of sandpaper. If I was sanding this, I would be sanding the dirt right back into the product, and that's not what I want to do. I want to remove it and the soot and the, just the age on it. So that's why I choose to use my Scotch-Brite and my White Lightning cleaner. Get up in here where I can get my Scotch-Brite in this groove. So that's what I'm just coming in to show you guys tonight, to kind of give you an idea of why I always say really, really clean your piece. And it's always because of your adhesion. You're going to get your absolute best adhesion on a clean piece. So this is a step I never skip, and I always use my Scotch-Brite because using a Scotch-Brite helps prepare your piece for painting. Kind of a little sneaky trick to wet sanding, but not necessarily knocking down the surface or cutting into your wood grain. And especially if this were a veneer wood grain, you're not sanding through the veneer onto the other side, and then you have this problem, especially if you're polyurethane over the top of it, and you will see that. So this is kind of a quick way to get a good look without having to use your sandpaper. And that's why people say, oh, there's no sanding needed. In my case, I always use this because it kind of works in the same precedence, if you will. So I'm going to just kind of pull this back, see what we're getting. And like I say, I will do this a few times, see how far I can get the luster of the wood to lighten up. And if it's not enough for my client, like I said, we can go in, we can apply some Tobacco Road or another light color and give the luster, but we're kind of aiming to keep the uniqueness of this mantelpiece the same. So if you guys are out there, if you've got an old fireplace that you need to paint, just get you some good products. And I used a chip brush today. Doesn't matter. I use a chip brush because the brick is kind of porous and kind of rough. So I wanted to be only on the surface of it, just kind of gliding across the surface rather than just, having thick, heavy paint on, if that makes any sense. So there you go. So we're back in action. We will be back again with our next project, and we'll come in and show you guys what we're doing, possibly show you this after we get this mounted back on its on location. And until then, we hope y'all have a great weekend, and we will see you on the other side. So have a blessed one, everyone. Thanks for jumping in and joining with us. Happy painting. Bye-bye.